Welcome to Budget Beauty, where I help you look flawless for less. Welcome back, and a very special welcome if you're new here. My name is Jen, and this is Budget Beauty. We do everything beauty on a budget, and that absolutely includes full face of Dollar-Tree makeup. Not name brand makeup, but Dollar Tree brand makeup. Today we are doing a full face of LA Colors. How does it perform? Is it something that is worth your money, even if it's only $1 or $1.25? Is it worth it? So if you are excited to see this look right here, all created from LA Colors from the Dollar Tree, give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not. I would love to have you here. I do upload lots and lots of new videos every week, so subscribe and click your bell so you never miss a single video. Check out that description box for all of my favorite subscription boxes, as well as come on over, follow me on TikTok for more beauty on a budget. So let's jump into a full face of LA Colors from the Dollar Tree. So I went ahead and already did my morning skincare, primed my face with some L'Oreal Glow Primer. I'll link everything down below that I use to prep my face for today's makeup look. I have to say I'm a little bit nervous. Most of the time when I've done a full face of Dollar Tree, it's included some name brands, and today we are strictly focused on the LA Colors brand, which is a brand of the Dollar Tree. So let's get started and hope that this turns out fantastic. So here's the foundation that I chose. This is the LA Colors Matte Foundation. I picked the color Soft Beige. This says that this is a new formula. It does come in a little squeezy tube, and it has kind of like a lip gloss applicator. So I'm just going to put a little bit here in my hand. It feels nice and thick, so let's see how it applies to the skin. I'm going to just blend that out with my beauty blender. So I wouldn't say that it gives the absolute best coverage. You can still see, a few of my skin imperfections. I wasn't able to find any concealer at the Dollar Tree that was my shade, so I'm going to just go ahead and run my foundation under my eyes as concealer. I'm going to put on another layer and see if we can get this to build up a little bit. It's not terrible. I have no pilling, I have no discoloration. It's just it doesn't give the fullest coverage. I would say it's more of a light to medium coverage. So overall, the foundation isn't bad. Like I said, I don't see any discoloration or pilling. I do have a mirror right here as well that I'm kind of looking down into. But again, it took a bit to get it to build up, and honestly, I used a lot of what is in here for one application. So even though it's $1, $1.25, it's not going to last for a lot of applications, but it's good in a pinch. It's small enough that it would be great for travel. So to set my face, I have the LA Girls Pressed Powder. This is in the shade Beige. This was the closest shade that they had for me, and this may actually be a little bit too dark. It does come with a really cheesy little puff, but I'm just going to use a brush. I will say that the compact itself is definitely on the cheaper side, but I'm just going to pat this into my skin to set my entire face. So I ended up having to go in with this kind of cheesy little pad to really press it into my skin. The brush wasn't giving me enough of that powder coverage, that powder feel to the skin. This little sponge, as cheap as it is, actually works pretty good to press the powder in. So it's not looking too bad, honestly. Again, I don't see any like weird pilling or discoloration. And now I have that smooth matte look to my face. Now I prefer a more glowy look, but we can get that with highlighter. And they didn't have a lot of options for foundation and powder. So I think overall for a couple dollars, not bad for a foundation of a face. So to warm up the face, I have the LA Colors Bronzer, and this is in the shade Bronzed Beauty. Now this definitely looks like a more luminous bronzer, which isn't my preferred, but again, this is all they had for an option. So let's see how it actually applies to the skin. So here's what the bronzer looks like. You can see it's definitely more luminous. And again, we have pretty cheap feeling packaging, but really what do you expect from the Dollar Tree? So I'm going to go in with a brush and I'm going to apply the bronzer kind of under my cheekbones and then bring that up to my temple. This is actually a really pretty colored bronzer. It doesn't give a lot of luminosity. If I look in my mirror, it doesn't look like I have a highlighter mixed with my bronzer, and the color is actually really good for my skin tone. So I'm going to go ahead and bronze up both sides of my face and my forehead. Really, you want to apply bronzer wherever the sun is going to hit your face. So the bronzer actually applied nicely. As I built it up more, I can definitely see the luminosity. I don't know if you guys can see that on my forehead. There is a little bit of a shine, a little bit of luminosity, but the color is perfect and it actually applied and built up really, really well. So here's the blush that I picked out. I actually really like this color. This is the powder blush in the color Spice. So the blush does come with a little brush. Obviously, I'm not going to use that. The pan size is pretty small, so you're going to have to use a fairly small blush brush. But the color looks beautiful. It does have a little bit of that luminosity to it. So I'm going to just apply that to my cheek, kind of halfway back and up my temple. So I have to say the blush is also really pretty, and when I look close up, I get that really pretty luminosity from the blush. If you can see that little bit of a glow, I mean, you really wouldn't need a highlighter. I am going to apply a highlighter. I'll show you what I picked out for that, but the blush definitely gives you that blush highlighter vibe, so it could serve as both products, and I really have to say I like the color. And again, this component feels a little bit more heavyweight, a little bit more luxe than the other component. So they didn't have any highlighters at all, but I saw this loose eyeshadow intense shimmer in Snow White. So I thought we could use this as highlighter. Most of the time when I'm using Dollar Tree makeup, I will use whatever the shimmer shade is in the eyeshadow palette, the champagne or white shade, and I'll use that as my highlighter. But honestly, with this illuminating blush, you wouldn't really even need a highlighter, but I want to test this out. So the component is pretty interesting. I'm going to just empty some out. It actually comes with a little brush to apply. So I think I'm just going to use that brush, as small as it is, to apply a little bit of the shade. Oh, that's actually really pretty. Wow. I will say this brush is probably not the best tool, so I am going to just grab my traditional highlighter brush, but look at that. This is a perfect highlighter. Look at how pretty that is. Wow, I'm actually impressed. This would also make a beautiful, beautiful brow highlight or inner corner shade. It actually is really pigmented and really easy to use. I always like to highlight my nose and kind of snatch in my nose a little bit. And then wherever, again, the sun kind of hits you. So I like to bring it up there and then kind of over my brow bone. Look at that glow. I mean, that is absolutely beautiful. And again, that was the LA Colors loose eyeshadow in Snow White. So you can use these loose eyeshadows as highlighter, especially if you get a white or a champagne color. I'm really impressed with this. This is probably the product that's impressed me the most so far, and I feel like I'm pretty glowy. For my eyeshadows, I went with this neutral, cool toned 3-pan palette. This is in the color scheme Orchid. I think this is really pretty cool tones. There is a shimmer, a kind of white matte, and then a darker matte to deepening up the outer corner. Last time I used the LA Color shadow, I don't think I was very impressed, so I'm a little nervous, but I think these cool tones are gonna be really pretty, and again, it's a very neutral look. It does also come with a sponge applicator, but I'm going to use my regular eyeshadow brushes. And here's a little closer up what it looks like. This shimmer shade actually looks really pretty. So my plan is to do a pretty basic look. I'm going to go in with this middle shade, and I'm going to apply this into my crease and just build it up and blend it out. That's actually a pretty color. I'm going to test its buildability. I'm going to add a little bit more. One thing I do notice is that I don't have any fallout, which is actually saying quite a lot. So you can see that I was able to build that up pretty well. I went in about 3 times, and that is perfect for that transition. So let me go ahead and do the other eye. So I'm going to go in with this shimmer shade, which, like I said, is really, really pretty. And I'm going to actually pack that over the entire lid. This is going to be a very simple, easy, quick look. Now, I did not use any glitter glue, any eye primer, and this is going on really, really nice. Is it the most pigmented, bright in your face shimmer? No, but it definitely looks really nice with that other color, and it's building up and applying really well. I'm pretty impressed for a $1.25 eyeshadow palette. And then I'm actually going to take the little sponge applicator that came in there, and I'm going to take this shade and put this in the inner corner. Now it is a matte shade, it's not a shimmer shade, but it still makes a really pretty inner corner highlight. And then with the other side of that sponge tip applicator, I'm going into that darkest shade, and I'm gonna run that under my lower lash line. Buff that out. So I was able to use all three shadows. I actually really like it. It's very natural, very neutral, cool toned, but it definitely gives a little bit of a depth and dimension to the eyes. I see zero fallout on my face, which is great. So this is actually quite a good quality little palette. I was pretty limited on my eyeliner choices. I wanted a liquid liner, so I ended up going with brown. Now I would have preferred to have black, but I think brown is going to go well with this more cool toned look. I've used the LA Colors liners in the past, and they are really, really, really good quality. They are fantastic for the price. So I'm going to just go ahead and draw out a wing, fill that in a little bit. I went ahead and drew out my wing, kind of filled that in. I have to say that this eyeliner is really easy to use, and I actually like the brown. It adds a little bit of depth and dimension to the look. Really, really pretty actually. So let me do the other eye. I really, really like this liner. Highly recommend, and I'm actually happy to have a brown liner to my collection. I really like how it looks. For mascara, I went with the Bold mascara to try to give my lashes as much as I can give them. This says it plumps your lashes, and it is in the color Very Black. The last full face of Dollar Tree makeup I did, the mascara was an epic fail, so cross our fingers this one is not an epic fail. I will go ahead and link that other full face of Dollar Tree that I did down below for you guys if you want to check it out. So there's going in with one coat. So not an epic fail like the last one, not the best mascara, but I'm hoping that we can build that up and add a little bit more depth, volume, and blackness to my lashes. So there's one coat. I'm going to apply a second coat. Let's see how it actually builds up. So it does build up a little bit. Is this the best mascara ever? No. A lot of times at your Dollar Tree, you can find name brand mascaras, especially Wet n Wild, which is far superior to this. But if all they have is LA Colors, this isn't a terrible option. Now, if you're lucky enough when you're at the Dollar Tree to find false lashes, and if you are even luckier to find the Ioni false lashes, these are some of the best lashes ever. They're one of my all-time favorites. I like a more dramatic lash, so this is actually the wispy dramatic lashes, and they also have the Ioni lash glue, so you can pick up lash glue and lashes for $2 to $2.50, and like I said, these are some of the best lashes. So although I put mascara on, I wanted to show you guys how beautiful these lashes are, so we're gonna go ahead and apply some false lashes. So here are the lashes close up. So they are a little bit dramatic and long and spiky. Honestly, my preferred style of lash. So the first thing that I like to do is take them off of the plastic and then kind of just bend them into shape. The Ioni lash glue is actually really, really good. So I'm going to go ahead and apply a little bit of the lash glue. If you have smaller eyes, you'll want to trim these down. These generally fit my eye really well. Go ahead and you want to apply them as close to your natural lash line as possible. They're beautiful. They're so, so pretty. Again, if you have smaller eyes or you want just a half lash or however you prefer your lashes, you can go ahead and trim them down. Let me go ahead and apply the other lash to the other eye, and then we'll do the brows. All right, lashes are on. They also have very natural, shorter lashes, longer lashes. If you can score some of these, depending on your lash style, pick them up. I love these. These are really some of the highest quality lashes, and I can't believe they sell them at the Dollar Tree. For brows, I just grabbed the LA Color Define and Fills Brows, and I picked the color dark brown. I think that's going to be the closest color to match my brows. It also comes with a brush to brush out your brows. So let's test this out, see how this works. I have pretty crazy eyebrows. Generally, I have to use like a pomade or something in my brows as well. Today, we are going au naturel. We're just going to do our best to kind of fill them in. Working really well. I mean, it's filling in my brows, and it's a really good match for color. That looks great. Look at the difference between the left and the right. So really good brow product. I'm pretty impressed. The brows look fantastic. really impressed with this. I'm actually really excited about this. I may grab a couple more. It filled them in really, really nicely. There was no skipping when using the brow product. I'm really, really impressed. I think my brows look pretty good considering I haven't applied any brow glue or anything really to hold them in place, but it filled them in very nicely, very easily. They didn't have any lip liners, but I did grab this hydrating lipstick. I love this kind of nude brown color. This is in the shade Natural Shine. So we're going to apply this as our lip color for the day. It's just a really pretty nude color. Oh yeah, that is pretty. That feels really nice going on, very hydrating. That feels really, really nice on the lips. Wow, when they say hydrating, they mean hydrating. Another product I'm really impressed with. So this is the finished full face of LA Colors from the Dollar Tree Makeup. I have to say I'm pretty impressed overall with the products. Now, was the packaging the most loved and the highest quality? Absolutely not. But for the most part, the products performed really, really well. I love how my eyeshadow look turned out. I really, really love that brow pencil. Having this loose eyeshadow as highlighter is amazing. The lip color is beautiful, feels really nice. So overall, I'm quite impressed. I'm far more impressed than I was last time and far more impressed than I thought that I would be. I hope you enjoyed seeing this look come together from the Dollar Tree. Like I said, I'm pretty impressed with how it turned out. I think it looks really natural, really pretty, but just really enhances the features. And there were a lot of products that I was absolutely impressed with. A couple of duds, but a lot of products that I was impressed with. So if you enjoyed today's video and you love a good budget full face of makeup, give this video a thumbs up. Of course, subscribe if you're not. I'd love to have you here. And don't forget to check out the description box for all of my favorite subscription boxes, and come on over, follow me on TikTok for more beauty on a budget. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.